In exactly 90 seconds, Kash Patel will hit a wall built from his own recorded history. The man you see today, draped in the institutional authority of the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, is about to be confronted by the ghost of his former self. Don't just listen to his current excuses, his measured tones, or his legalistic pivots. Compare the cadence of his voice now to the recording we are about to play. The contradiction isn't just in his face, it's in the data. He thinks this is a routine inquiry. He thinks he can hide behind the very bureaucracy he once vowed to dismantle. But he is actually facing 6 direct quotes from December 2023 that make his current position mathematically impossible. You are about to witness the dismantling of a legacy by the most unforgiving prosecutor in existence. A time-stamped, verbatim transcript. This is the forensic audit of truth. The record does not blink. It does not forget, and today it does not forgive. Raskin delivers the final, most damning transcript point. He holds up the quote where Patel said the FBI was protecting the world's foremost predator. He looks Patel in the eye and asks, "Are you now protecting that same predator?" The silence in the room is deafening. This is the kill shot. It isn't a question about policy. It's a question about the soul of the witness. If the list is still unreleased and Patel is the director, then by his own logic, he is the one doing the protecting. The logical circle is closed. There is no exit. The man who came to drain the swamp is now the one manning the pumps. Watch the breakdown. It's not in a shout, it's in the stutter. Patel begins to circularize his logic. Everything that has been lawfully permitted. The investigation was limited. I never said Jeffrey Epstein didn't traffic other people. The cadence of his voice has changed. The certainty of the December 2023 recording is gone, replaced by the shaky, defensive rhythm of a man who is being hunted by his own words. We witness 23 seconds of dead air as he fumbles for a response that won't further incriminate his past or present. His hands move to adjust documents that don't need adjusting. The verbatim trap has snapped shut. The data has overridden the performance. The final charge is one of total betrayal. This is not just a disagreement over policy. It is a calculated deception of the public trust. Kash Patel used the pain of Epstein's victims and the public's desire for justice as a ladder to reach the top of the very agency he criticized. Once at the top, he pulled the ladder up behind him. He promised the big boy pants and delivered the bureaucratic shield. The transcript proves that his outrage was a commodity, something to be traded for a title. The betrayal is documented in black and white, time-stamped and verified. He has become the gatekeeper of the secrets he promised to set free. The digital fallout is instantaneous. Within minutes of the transcript mismatch hitting the wire, the video goes viral. The contrast between the activist Patel and director Patel is too stark for even his most loyal supporters to ignore. On social media, the clips are played side by side. 100% of the comments focus on the receipts. Institutional trust, already at an all-time low, craters further. The forensic audit has moved from the hearing room to the court of public opinion. The data doesn't just sit on a server. It's now a weapon in the hands of the very public Patel claimed to represent. The institutional reaction is a panicked attempt to clarify the director's remarks, but you cannot clarify a direct contradiction. When we compare the two versions of Kash Patel using data, the result is a total divergence. The activist of the past used high-frequency, emotional language, words like evil, pedophile, and protection. The bureaucrat of the present uses low-frequency technical language, words like permitted, investigation, and limited. The data shows a man who has undergone a linguistic lobotomy. He has been stripped of his conviction and replaced with a script. This legacy audit reveals a fundamental truth about power. It doesn't change people, it reveals who they always were. The record shows that the activist was merely a mask for the bureaucrat in waiting. In the end, we are left with the record. People lie, memories fade, rhetoric shifts with the political winds, but the transcript is permanent. The 300 gigabytes of evidence, the 60,000 pages of documents, and the timestamp recordings are the only things that remain. Director Patel may leave his office, the hearing may end, and the cameras may turn off, but his words from December 2023 will forever collide with his actions in 2025. This is the power of the forensic audit. It provides a final judgment that no amount of circular logic can escape. The record is the most unforgiving prosecutor, and today, the verdict is guilty. The truth is not what you say today. It is the sum of everything you have ever said. Representative Jamie Raskin begins the operation with surgical precision. He sets the baseline. Director Patel, before you joined the Federal Bureau of Investigation, you railed against it. Raskin isn't just asking a question. He is laying the tracks for a high-speed collision. Patel sits there, the weight of the office on his shoulders, attempting to project the image of a disciplined lawman. He relies on the bureaucratic pivot, a psychological maneuver designed to shift the focus from his past activism to his current role as a director bound by court orders. He is using the legal system as a shield against his own past rhetoric. The air in the room thickens. Raskin is not looking for a narrative. He is looking for the discrepancy between the man who demanded the list and the man who now holds it. The first receipt is presented. Raskin plays a clip from December 2023. In the recording, Patel's voice is frantic, aggressive, and certain. He says, "It has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator." Listen to the word protecting. In 2023, Patel defined the failure to release the list as an evil thing to do. He explicitly stated that regardless of who might be embarrassed, the list must come out. He accused the Bureau of protecting the largest-scale pedophile in human history. This is the first anchor point. The data shows a man who believed transparency was a moral absolute. Now, the man in the chair must account for why that absolute has become a variable. To understand the gravity of this moment, we must understand the scale of the evidence. When we talk about the Epstein files, we are not talking about a single folder. We are talking about over 300 gigabytes of digital evidence. We are talking about 60,000 pages of documents, forensic images, and communication logs. To put that in perspective, if you were to print 60,000 pages, the stack would reach nearly 20 feet high. It is a monolith of truth. In the world of data forensics, 300 gigabytes is a universe of metadata. Every file has a timestamp, a creator, and a modification history. When Director Patel says he is lawfully permitted to release only certain things, he is fighting against a mountain of data that he once claimed was being intentionally suppressed. The archive is not a suggestion. It is a physical reality that occupies terabytes of server space. You cannot lose this much information. You can only choose not to look at it. The timeline is the enemy of the liar. In December 2023, Patel was the outsider, the firebrand on Glenn Beck and Benny Johnson's programs. He told Republicans to put on your big boy pants and let the public know who the pedophiles are. He was specific. He was visceral. Now, jump forward over 200 days into his tenure as director in 2025. The rhetoric has shifted from big boy pants to investigatory limitations. The timeline reveals a total inversion of identity. On one date, the FBI was evil for sitting on the list. On the current date, the FBI is following procedure. The forensic linguist notes the shift in the use of we. In the past, they were the ones hiding the truth. Now, we are the ones who have released more material than anyone else. The transition from them to us is the sound of a man being absorbed by the machine he promised to break. The interrogation enters the phase of semantic warfare. Raskin brings up the Black Book. In the past, Patel was crystal clear. He said the book was under the direct control of the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. He didn't say it was under the control of a court. He didn't say it was subject to a grand jury. He said direct control. Now, under pressure, Patel attempts a semantic pivot. He claims the Rolodex, which he now colloquially refers to as the Black Book, has been released. Raskin shuts him down instantly. Oh no, Raskin says. You're talking about what the journalist got 5 years ago. No, that's not what we're talking about. This is a battle over the definition of the word released. Patel is trying to substitute a public, redacted document for the comprehensive, unredacted list he once demanded. The logical collapse begins when the target tries to redefine the very object of the inquiry. Raskin drives Patel into the corner. He asks, "Why haven't you released the names of Epstein's co-conspirators?" This is the inconsistency engine at work. Patel cannot say the names don't exist because his past self already confirmed they do. He cannot say he doesn't have the power because his past self said the director has complete authority. He is trapped between two versions of himself. He attempts to pivot to statistics, claiming a 35% increase in child predator arrests. It is a classic diversionary tactic. He is answering a question about the who with data about the how many. Raskin refuses to let him escape. He demands to know why the position has changed. The engine is grinding the director's credibility into dust. The yes or no becomes a then versus now that Patel cannot reconcile. Why the shift? The forensic audit moves to the motive. In December 2023, Patel's loyalty was to the activist brand. He was selling a narrative of a corrupt deep state to an audience hungry for outsiders. Today, his loyalty is to the institution. The shift isn't just political, it's professional. He has traded the freedom of the commentator for the protection of the bureaucrat. The hidden motive is the preservation of power. To release the list now would be to validate his past criticisms of the office he currently holds. He has realized that the direct control he once spoke of is a double-edged sword. If he has the power to release it and doesn't, he becomes the very evil entity he once denounced. He is choosing institutional silence over personal consistency. Patel clings to the phrase lawfully permitted. But the forensic weight of the archive makes this excuse mathematically hollow. He once argued that the president and the director have complete authority to declassify and release. If that was true in December 2023, it remains true in 2025. The law hasn't changed. The occupant of the office has. The procedural excuse fails because it contradicts the fundamental premise of Patel's entire public persona. You cannot spend years arguing that the rules are a sham and then use those same rules as your primary defense. The weight of 60,000 pages of evidence demands a better answer than investigatory limitations.